invoking the grace of all the Vaidika Rishi Parampara as well as the Devatas, the Paramatma, the Guru, the Parabrahma, asking them to give us sound physical health, mind's health, intellect's health, so that whole day we are in the divine thought through various possible sadhanas of Shastra Dhyanam and our own Japa, Dhyana, Ityadi, Upasana. As a human, while going through what cannot be avoided, consciously to whatever the extent, we can use the heart to pray to the Lord, we can use the intellect to understand the truth. If that we recognize and do it, our job is done. One more thing we can add, the faith that because we are doing what we can do, His grace will make us evolve, though slowly and steadily. Let us recognize being regular students of Upanishad and Shastra by God's Guru's grace. Definitely some addition, some transformation, even though it is less, is happening in us every day. And in this time scale of so many lives, in one life, if we are able to achieve even little of the thing, that itself is great. Because so many lives passed where we might have lived life totally worldly. Contrast to that, in this life, a good amount of time and mind we are consciously trying to give to divinity. That itself can be applaudable and laudable. We can feel inspired and happy with this thought. And let us continue whatever we can do in a relaxed, joyful mood. We know we can't do everything. We also must know we should not be without doing anything also. ॐ नमो वाचे या चोदिता या चानुदिता तस्यै वाचे नमो नमो वाचे नमो वाचस्पतये नम ऋषिभ्यो मन्त्रकृद्भ्यो मन्त्रपतिभ्यो मां ऋषयो मन्त्रकृतो मन्त्रपतय पराधुर्माहमृषीन्मन्त्रकृतो मन्त्रपतीन् परादां वैश्वदेवीं वाचमुद्यासगं शिवामदस्तां जुष्टां देवेभ्यः शर्म मेद्यौः शर्म पृथिवी शर्म विश्वमिदं जगत् शर्म चन्द्रश्च सूर्यश्च शर्म ब्रह्म प्रजापति भूतं वदिष्ये भुवनं वदिष्ये तेजो वदिष्ये यशो वदिष्ये तपो वदिष्ये ब्रह्म वदिष्ये सत्यं वदिष्ये तस्मा अहमिदमुपस्तरणमुपस्तृण उपस्तरणं मे प्रजायै पशूनां भूयादुपस्तरणमहं प्रजायै पशूनां भूयासं प्राणापानौ मृत्योर्मापातं प्राणापानौ मामाहासिष्ठं मधुमनिष्ये मधुजनिष्ये मधुवक्ष्यामि मधुवदिष्यामि मधुमतीं देवेभ्यो वाचमुद्यासगं शुश्रूषेण्यां मनुष्येभ्यस्तम्मा देवा अवन्तु शोभायै पितरोऽनुमदन्तो ॐ शान्तिः 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 अगेन् ॐ नमो वाचे या चोदिता या चानुदिता तस्यै वाचे नमो नमो वाचे नमो वाचस्पतये नम ऋषिभ्यो मन्त्रकृद्भ्यो मन्त्रपतिभ्यो मां ऋषयो मन्त्रकृतो मन्त्रपतय पराधुर्माहमृषीन्मन्त्रकृतो मन्त्रपतीन् परादां वैश्वदेवीं वाचमुद्यासगं शिवामदस्तां जुष्टां देवेभ्यः शर्म मेद्यौः शर्म पृथिवी शर्म विश्वमिदं जगत् शर्म चन्द्रश्च सूर्यश्च शर्म ब्रह्म प्रजापति भूतं वदिष्ये भुवनं वदिष्ये तेजो वदिष्ये यशो वदिष्ये तपो वदिष्ये ब्रह्म वदिष्ये सत्यं वदिष्ये तस्मा अहमिदमुपस्तरणमुपस्तृण उपस्तरणं मे प्रजायै पशूनां भूयादुपस्तरणमहं प्रजायै पशूनां भूयासं प्राणापानौ मृत्योर्मापातं प्राणापानौ मामाहासिष्टं मधुमनिष्ये मधुजनिष्ये मधुवक्ष्यामि मधुवदिष्यामि मधुमतीं देवेभ्यो वाचमुद्यासगं शुश्रूषेण्यां मनुष्येभ्यस्तं मा देवा अवन्तु शोभायै पितरोऽनुमदन्तु ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Every word's literal meaning, if we know it is good, even if we don't know, understand that in such a sacred, divine, eternal, ancient Vedic mantras, there are prayers extended to all presiding devatas to keep we, the individuals, fit in every layer of our personality so that our outer life, our life of dharma, our inner life and spiritual life is properly conducted. So with that bhavana, when we chant, that is a sufficient prayers. ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः ॐ निधये सर्वविद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः ॐ शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् ॐ भवता जनता सुहिता भविता निजबोधविचारणचारुमते कलयेश्वरजीवविवेकविदं भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणं परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्तब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः श्रीवेदव्यासवैशम्पायने आज्ञवल्क्य आद्य शंकरादिगुरुभ्यो नमः अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः तेषां सर्वेषां गुरूणां देवतानाम् अनुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधसिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकहैन्दवसंस्कृतेः पुनरुत्थान पुनर्जागरण विश्वव्याप्तिद्वारा विश्वाध्यात्मिकप्रगतिद्वारा विश्वशान्तिकल्याणप्राप्त्यर्थं ये भक्ताः साधकाः धर्मसंस्थापकाः अस्मिन् कार्ये नितराम्रताः तेषां सर्वेषां सदा सर्वदा सर्वधर्म संस्थापन कार्येषु नित्य निरंतर दिग्विजय प्राप्त्यर्थम श्री कृष्ण यजुर्वेदांतर्गत तैत्तिरीय आरण्यक अंतर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदः श्री आदिशंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे ओम यस्मात् जातं जगत् सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रणीयते येनेदन्धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्य प्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते अथ द्वितीया ब्रह्मानंद वल्ली अष्टमोऽनुभागः. जस्ट एंजॉय द चैंट. ओम भीषास्माद्वातः पवते भीषोदेति सूर्यः भीषास्मादग्निश्चेन्द्रश्च मृत्युर्धावति पंचम इति सैषानन्दस्य मीमांसा भवति युवा स्यात् साधु युवाध्यायकः आशिष्ठो दृढिष्ठो बलिष्ठः तस्येयं पृथिवी सर्वा वित्तस्य पूर्णा स्यात् स एको मानुष आनन्दः ते शतं मानुष आनन्दाः स एको मनुष्यगन्धर्वाणामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते शतं मनुष्यगन्धर्वाणामानन्दाः स एको देवगन्धर्वाणामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते शतं देवगन्धर्वाणामानन्दाः स एकः पितॄणां चिरलोकलोकानामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते शतं पितॄणां चिरलोकलोकानामानन्दाः स एक आजानजानां देवानामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते शतमाजानजानां देवानामानन्दाः स एकः कर्मदेवानां देवानामानन्दः ये कर्मणा देवानभियन्ते श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते शतं कर्मदेवानां देवानामानन्दाः स एको देवानामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते शतं देवानामानन्दाः स एक इन्द्रस्यानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते शतमिन्द्रस्यानन्दाः स एको बृहस्पतेरानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते शतं बृहस्पतेरानन्दाः स एकः प्रजापतेरानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते शतं प्रजापतेरानन्दाः स एकः एको ब्रह्मण आनन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य स यश्चायं पुरुषे यश्चासावादित्ये स एकः स य एवमिद अस्माल्लोकात् प्रेत्य एतमन्नमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामते एतं प्राणमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामते एतं मनोमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामते एतं विज्ञानमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामते एतमानन्दमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामते तदप्येष श्लोको भवति। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Now let us do this one. कि अस्ति न अस्ति इति अनुप्रश्नः व्याख्यातः. Is this happened in our heart also or not? As the result of the study of the Upanishad so far, we have to check. The three prashnas are athatonu prashnaah uta vidwan amum lokam pretya kaschana gacchati aho vidwan amum lokam pretya kashchit samashruta u. So the question one, Brahma astiva na astiva. It is not a superficial saying that asti, but it should be understood as it is there and he alone is the pure existence. He is the one who is supporting everything. He alone is reality. Everything else other than him is superimposition on him. Therefore, if at all we have to find safety, security, longevity, eternity, infinite bliss, it can be found only in the finding of him. Therefore, the only mission of life is to find that Paramatma. All these things if happen, that is the meaning of the first question. Asti va na asti is positively answered that Brahman asti. It should happen in every one of us clearly, distinctly, without any vagueness. This is what called as the first of the first of the sadhana chatushtaya sampada, the vivekaha. What is that? Brahma satyam jagan mithyeti evam rupo vinishchayaha. Soyam nitya nitya vastu vivekaha. So the Brahma asti, Brahma sadsvarupena asti, Brahma eka eva asti. Now it is the other way around. The whole world is so real and so important to us. So much we are only into that as if there is nothing called as Brahman at all. And कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ रहा हमको by not minding about the Brahman. Anyway, that type of delusion, that type of what you say, ignorance we are in. And not knowing that the consequence of that alone are all bondages. It's like keep on eating something not allowed, not good for the health, or smoking. At the time of smoking, it is a joy, it is a habit. But not knowing that this is creating such a lung cancer or mouth cancer, etc. We don't know its consequence, but we are in that immediate pleasure of it. So, to taking the world as a real, involving in it for the immediate pleasures, though we are doing in the long run, this is what is causing all the bondages, all the attachments, all the identifications, all ignorances, all delusions. Therefore, all miseries all the time. Let us be very distinct in these two things. Whenever we are happy, it is Paramatma Ananda. Whenever we are miserable, it is our own identity with the upadhis and our unnecessary identity with the world through the upadhis and such kind of actions. When we are very distinctly clear in it, in separating, segregating that the happiness is from Paramatma, the misery is because of this involvement outside, then slowly we refrain from that involvement, then involve in our spiritual unfoldment only. So, out of these three prashnas, one is standing answered. And here also in the Upanishad, how this first question stands answered, asti na asti, na asti, by the ascertainment that it is there, asti. He told us yesterday, Visa, ki karya rasalabha pranana abhaya pratishta, then bhaya darshana upapattibhya, etc. etc. These were the logics so beautifully brought out by the Shruti Mata, and that is being excellently explained to us by Bhagavan Adi Shankara. In and through every one of them, we come to the logical conclusion about the presence of Brahman as existing and is as existing. That should never come as doubt in our life again. If it has come means what? We have not answered the first question in our own heart. अब देखो डाउट है कि नहीं है, then always our sadhana cannot be very inspiring, very promising. है वही सत्य है. In the finding of him alone there is bliss. Everything else other than him is not real. Therefore I will not go for it. These are the different gradations or levels of, or the variety of conviction should come with the so far studied Shastra. Is it not? See, it was said again, Tasmadvaya Tasmad Atmanaha Akashaha Sambhutaha. While explaining that, it is only the unmanifest name and form manifested. But what is in and through them is the Paramatma only. If this is understood, will ever we value the Rupa and Nama? If you are valuing means this sentence is not deeply understood or accepted. That is the meaning of first question clearly answered in our heart. Not only intellectually, logically, but in our own acceptance, firmly. So, Karya, Rasalabha, Pranana, Avaya Pratishta, Avaya Darshana, Upapattibhya. So, the Karya is the entire Akasha se lekar Annamaya tak. All these are Karya, existing, came from the Karana, which must exist. Think deeply about it. And let that go deeply into the heart, that the everything in this world is in space. Space is in effect, it has come from the cause. That cause is Brahman. Why all this struggle to establish the astitva of the Brahman? Because it is not any one object of the world. It is not an object with any of the Visheshanas, nor it can be seen in any Vyavahara. So, Nirvisheshatvat, Nirvyavaharatvat, then Indriyanam, Buddhinam, Agosharatvat. This is the only way that we have to establish the existence of Brahman. वो दिख जाता किसी भी रूप में या कान में सुनाई देता, तो सुनाकर या दिखाकर बता देते हैं कि दिस इज ब्रह्मन. For none of the upadhis in any three periods of time through any of the three avasthas, this Brahman cannot be experienced. He is beyond all. And to see to that beyond Lord, we have to understand His presence, we have to accept it. So all this struggle is for that. Then we saw second one, Rasalabha. So beautiful it was. Not only in the Jnani who is not depending on the rasa, on any rasa for the Ananda, his Ananda is from the Brahma rasa. To all of us who are enjoying any Trupti Ananda because of the rasa like Amla and Tikta, that Amla Tikta also are existing, is it not? From the existence only, even the Ananda coming to a person who is getting it through any rasa yukta padartha. This is what we have to again and again and again and again we have to tell this is fully accepted by us. So by proving to us that the Vidwan's Ananda Karana, Rasa Karana is Brahman, It is proved that even for an avidwan also, he thinks that the ananda, trupti are coming from the object with rasa. But first of all, that object should exist, is it not? If the object is not at all existing, how can it give rasa and trupti and ananda? Therefore, just to become little subtler, to accept that the existence is the cause to express ananda through that. If this much is understood, then in and through everything we get ananda is from Brahman only directly, indirectly. If the indirect ananda is so gracious, wonderful, directly if you get the Brahma rasa ananda, how beautiful. That is the meaning of raso vai saha rasagahyevayam labdva anandi bhavati. So this is a very beautiful sentence. It is like, no, go to that place in that ice cream parlor. When you eat that one ice cream, no, nowadays specially came, you will enjoy it so much. Nowhere in the world such is made. You know how that expression looks like if somebody enjoyed it and tries to report. Same way, Raso Vaisa, Shruti Mata. And the rishis are saying, indeed, that is actually rasa. And rasagga heva ayam labdva. Ayam jivaha evam rasam labdva eva anandi bhavati. The pure, immaculate bliss of Brahman, when you get, you yourself become blissful all the time. All other are secondary, indirect rasa. Therefore, go for that Brahmananda rasa. That is why in Shankara's Vivekshadavani, Brahmananda rasanubhuti kalitaihi, he says. Go for Brahmananda rasa, not any rasa. That is what we have to feel while chanting this that way. Raso vaisaha rasagahyevayam labdva anandi bhavati. Earlier also, don't you see the entire Karya Jagat of Akasha to the Prithvi? Yeah. Annamaya? Yeah. Then how do you say the cause of this, called as Brahman non-existent, is very much existing? That is how the load of that sentence. The third one also, ki pranana. Are we not doing the pranana apanana kriya all the time? Is this pranana apanana kriya doing? Indriyas, antakarana, even the nostrils, even the fefde, can they function themselves without the touch of that conscious self? No. Then how can you say then that self, which is pure consciousness and pure existence, is not there? It is very much there. So, by this, what is said, the mere fact that you see the Akashadi is a proof that Brahman is there. The mere fact that somebody or anybody or everybody or anywhere is having Ananda itself is a proof that the Ananda is there, or the Parabrahma or Sat Brahma is there. And the mere fact that the Pranana, Apanana is happening is a mere fact, enough a proof for the presence of Brahman. Don't you see that prananam, apananam happening? Yeah. Is that not a fact? Yeah. Can it happen without the inner self, conscious, blissful self? No. Therefore, how can you say it's not there? So, our thinking has not become deeper to see the cause of these three. That cause cannot be seen, but the cause can be apprehended. Because without that thing, the life is not there in the dead beings. So something is there because of which the life is pulsating through the pranana, apanana, including all the indriya, antakarana, kalapa. So a being is alive itself shows that the pure Parabrahman is there. The being is happy itself shows the Parabrahman is there. The presence of all the Jadapadarthas, starting from Akasha up to Annamaya Deha, they all are proof of existence of Paramatma. See, seeing them and not able to see beyond. People have said, we also have said, the world alone is real, that is not there. But when you use the intellect, logic, and take the Shastra Adhara, then when you know all this is not independent, it is coming from something, then that cause is very much there. We come to that understanding. The two more things are what? The cause must permeate the entire effect. Therefore, in the effect called as the entire world, the cause Parabrahma is so much there. Point one. Point two, but he being so subtle, so subjective, pure conscious existence cannot be perceived by any of the faculties. Therefore, consciously transcending the faculties or the upadhis is the way to recognize him as our own self. This is how this whole Upanishad's purpose of making us understand. At our gross intellects, in the beginning days, we don't catch it. But then repeatedly, when we are listening again and again, slowly the intellect becomes subtler to catch this point. What is the subtlety of the intellect? Even though not perceivable through any faculties, and yet on the Shastra authority and logic, accepting the presence of Parabrahman is called as the Sukshma Buddhi. That is why Drishyate to Agreya Buddhya Sukshmaya Buddhya. This is intellectual understanding. Then Sukshma Darshibihi Anubhavam Karoti. Anubhavati, Anubhavayati. A subtle visionary will experience it. The fourth one said was Ki Abhaya. How can we be fearless? Only there is something which is giving us that fearless. And that Brahman being birthless, deathless, changeless. Therefore, the birth and death fear, change fear, losing fear, all of them are never there in that Brahmagyan. So that shows that Brahman, which is a cause of fearlessness, is very much existing. Therefore, whoever anywhere are fearless, understand that is an indication for the presence of the pure Parabrahman. And what about when the people have fear? That also indicates that there is the presence of Brahman. What is the difference between the fear of this and fearlessness of that person? The fear of this person is Vidwan, and the person's fearlessness is Vidwan. What is the difference between Vidwan and Vidushaha? Vidwan has experienced his Brahmasthiti. Avidwan has not. So, Vidwan has become Advaita with Brahma. This Avidwan is still maintaining the difference with Brahman. Therefore, he is afraid of that Brahman only. Because he is making himself separate from the Brahman. Okay. So, then whatever is separate from me, from that only I am afraid. When there are two, when there is separation, when is otherness, there is only fear for someone. Now, this Vidwan has identified with that Brahman. Brahman is birthless, changeless, modificationless, decayless, diseaseless, deathless. And that Brahman, when he identified, how can there be any misery to him, any fear to him? So, therefore, he is fearless because of this identity with that Brahman. That means the Brahman existing. And the other Vidwan, identifying the Upadhis. Upadhis are changeable, mutable, destroyable. Therefore, he is miserable. And why is he miserable here? Why he is becoming identified with the Upadhi? He has not identified with the Brahman like the Vidwan. Therefore, Brahman alone is cause for his fear. Thus, the Brahman existing. So, in this way, in so many other prakriyas, Brahma Astitva Pratipadana is done by this portion so far. Therefore, the first question, Asti Nasti, is answered with the positive answer that Brahman Asti, Astitva Rupena, Sadrupena Eva Asti, Sarvatra Asti. Okay, it is the one on which everything permeated. Aham also that Brahman Eva Asmi. And in the Anumuti of that Brahman alone, the moksha from within me that I was identifying the limited upadhi, moksha from seeing the world as other than me, moksha from the Lord taken as apart from me. From all these parichinata, pratyakshata, parokshata, which are the cause of bondage, technically, from all that bondage we get liberated. Remember, these three are bondages. When I don't discover myself as Brahman, then I take myself as Jiva with these upadhis. This Jiva is parichinna, limited by desha, by kala, by vastu, by shakti samarthya, by knowledge. How much of limitations are there in him? Called parichinnatas. With so many parichinna, we can't be happy. So too, when we don't discover the whole Jagat as Brahman, then we are not Brahman, Jagat is not Brahman. Therefore, we and Jagat are different. That's called as Pratyakshata with the Jagat. And anything Pratyaksha in front of us, as you see every day in your house, with that Pratyaksha Vyakti Vishesha or Vastu Vishesha, there is either Raga or Dvesha. You can't avoid Raga Dvesha having a thing or being in front of you. If you are alive, if you are conscious. If you are in sleep, if one is dead, then you may not. But कुछ ना कुछ गड़बड़ चलता ही रहता है. That's how we suffer with the Jagat, both with Raga and with Dvesha. Why? Because the Jagat is not Brahman, I am not the Brahman. Third, with the Lord, either we have desire, demand from Him, or we have fear and doubt on Him, whether He'll give something or not. That's called as somewhere is in the clouds. It's called Parokshata. That is why because Brahman is that Paramatma is not Brahman and I am not the Brahman. Therefore, we are different from each other. So these are all very deep-rooted notions, ignorances, strengthened every day by living life only as they host me and Jagat is other than me, Lord is apart from me. So all this will go away, fears or miseries, limitations. When I discover I am Brahman, therefore everything is Brahman. Therefore that Brahman is. That's called as Asti Nasti is answered by saying that Brahman Asti. It is not over. Again, other vasanas, the Klishta Vrittis come, try to throw away this knowledge. Therefore, we have to listen again. We have to study again. We have to tell to ourselves again and again. Like without our knowledge, we know in our body continuously. The bacteria also healthy ones, immunity system also fighting against those which are antibodies, which are not good for the health of the body. So continuous fighting is going on. So too, continuous fighting should happen in us in establishing the existence of Brahman, even though again and again the thoughts, the vasanas come to say that the world is real, there is no Brahman. This continuous struggle to win over is called Adhyatmic Sadhana. In that, what is the final victory? Brahman is there, he is everywhere there, and him discovering him alone will be moksha. This was the what do you say, the sixth Anuvaka, first line. Asanneva savavati asad brahmeti veda chet. Asti brahmeti chet veda santavenam tato vidhu. Remember that beautiful sentence. After this, Bhagavan says here, ki एव तद अस्ति एव तद आकाशादि कारणं ब्रह्म इति अपाकृतः अनुप्रश्नः एकः. The one question is being answered and removed. Thou अन्यौ अनुप्रश्नो विद्वद अविदुषोः. So two more prashnas are there of Vidwan and Avidushoho. Brahma Prapti Aprapti Vishayau. So is that Vidwan going to have Brahma Prapti? Is Avidwan also is going to have the Prapti or Aprapti? These are the two things to be answered. Tatra, among these two questions, whether the Jnani will experience him or not, the Ajnani will experience him or not, Tatra Vidwan Samashnute na Samashnute iti Anuprashnaha Antyaha. So, this Vidwan will he enjoy or doesn't enjoy or experience self or not is the last. Tad Apakaranaya Uchyate. Tad Apakaranaya Uchyate. Now, the next topic is to answer this question, whether the Vidwan will experience it or not, and how he will experience, what he has to do, how the experience looks like. Why are you jumping the second question without answering? The second one was, the Avidwan, will he gachati va nagachati? Answer is, Madhyama anuprashnaha antyapakarnat eva apakrutaha. The second question gets answered when the third is answered. So in the third one, when it is proved that Vidwan will experience, it shows, it obviously is meant that Avidwan he will not experience it. Vidwan is the one who is a believer, the one who is a follower of the sadhanas indicated. He experiences. First he believes that he is there. Avidwan, non-believer, therefore he does no sadhana. So that not doing any sadhana is what said in the beginning of that asanneva sabhavati is, he is said to be apurushartha sambandhi. He will not do purushartha because not believing in the presence of it. Therefore, he will never get only. So the second stands answered if the third is answered. Therefore, we are giving the answer to the third one. Shruti Mata is giving that Vidwan will experience it. इति तद अपाकरणाय नह यत्नते or तद अपाकरणाय न यत्नते. It's being tried by us for the removal of the third question because the third answered, second also answered. Or when the third is answered, second is answered automatically. Therefore, there is no yatna done to answer the second question or doubt regarding whether Avidwan will reach to that Atman or not. Now, what is the mantra? Saya evam vita अस्माल्लोकात् प्रेत्य एतमन्नमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति एतं प्राणमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामते एतं मनोमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामते एतं विज्ञानमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामते एतमानन्दमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामते तदप्येष श्लोको भवति. One of the very important, very necessary discussion is this bhasha to this mantra. Okay, now one by one, excellent discussion it. Okay. Mm-hmm. What is the meaning? Saya evam with. Saha, that person, yaha, whoever he may be. Yaha is universal pronoun. Whoever he may be means what? Who has got qualification and effort to know the Brahman. Other than that, whoever he may be, the other criteria are not important. Jo koi bhi. So, the caste, the creed, the religion, the gender, the age, the nationality, without the consideration of any one of them, yaha. Okay, whoever he may be, saha, that one who fulfills these conditions, he will experience this. This is what is the meaning of this shloka. So, what is the condition fulfilled by that person, whosoever it may be? Evam with. The one who knows in this way. So, sayaha evam vitu. Saha, that person, yaha, whoever he may be, who or she who evam vita knows this way. So, saha understood, that person, yaha understood, whoever he may be, evam with has to be understood, the one who knows it like this. What is the meaning of knowing like this? Is Bhagavan Bhashyakara is explaining to us. Ki saha yaha kaschit evam with. Evam means yathoktam brahma, has told that Brahman, the one who knows him. And which is the Brahma? Is it the Brahmadeva Brahma? No, because that Brahmadeva's Brahma is Utkarsha Apakarsha Yukta in its Ananda, depending on the Prasannata or Aprasannata of the Chitta, depending on those three sadhanas, their intensity or perfection. That's three sadhanas are Shrotriyaha, Abrujinaha, Akamataha. Therefore, we are not talking about the Brahman in whom the Utkarsha, Abakarsha are there. Then which Brahma you are talking? Utkarsha, Utsrujya, Utkarsha, Abakarsham. And that Brahman who is free from Utkarsha and Abakarsha, who is he? Which was said as Advaitam. He is one without second, all permeating everywhere there. By no reason or means he can be broken into any way. Here the Advaita was Yosavaditya Purusha Sohamasmi, or the earlier line of this very mantra, which is said कि सूर्य भगवान में जो है, हमारे अंदर जो है, वो एक ही है, जो कहा है. So that mantra is Sayashchayam Purushe Yashava Savaditya Sa Ekaha. We have exhaustively discussed this shloka. The summary of that is what? He Advaitam. So the Purusha who is there in me, so Purusha who is there in his Aditya is one. So one, that Parabrahma only through the Samashti Upadhi, expressing as and through the Surya, and Vyashti Upadhi expressing as and through you and me. And the Samashti is Karana, Vyashti is a Karya. So Samashti is Surya there, Karana and Ishvara, the Vyashti, you and I are the Jiva. So the Jiva Ishvara Bheda Rahita, Vyashti Samashti Bheda Rahita, Karya Karana Bheda Rahita, Ekameva Advayam is Brahma. This way the one who knows. So Saya Evam with. Evam with means the one who knows. Whom? The Brahman. As what? First, free from Utkarsha Apakarsha. Be attentive about it. Otherwise, if there is Utkarsha Abakarsha in Brahman for any reason, no need of finding him, because Utkarsha Abakarsha are happening anyway in other Sukhavara, starting from Manusya, Manusya Gandharva, ityadi. One of the tempting reason in discovering Brahman is the Brahma Ananda is so optimum, so maximum, so infinite, so complete that there is nothing greater than it. Therefore, there is no Utkarsha. And it once it reached, it never comes reduced for any reason. Therefore, there is no Apakarsha. See, all of our problems are what? One happiness we got. But if there is something other higher than it, this happiness doesn't give us happiness. because there is something utkrishta than this. Like I got a scooter. So that happiness of scooter can never give me happiness continuously because there is utkrishta other than the scooter called as the car. So too that scooter such a ananda it is, it can be अपकर्ष युक्त also. एक दिन स्कूटर खराब हो गया या पेट्रोल भर नहीं पा रहे या लाइसेंस नहीं था पुलिस ने ले ली. Are you catching every ananda in this world as utkarsha apakarsha possibility, because of which it is always doubtful ananda. It can't be continuous and constant. Therefore, not covetable, need not be sought. The Brahman is utkarsha apakarsha rahita infinite ananda. उससे ज्यादा घटेगा नहीं. Wonderful, no? So the one who knows Brahman and who knows the Brahman to be Utkarsha Ananda, Apakarsha Rahita Ananda, are the one who is experiencing his Brahma Tattva, which is blissful, which is free from the Utkarshata, which is free from Apakarshata. देखो, उत्कर्षता नहीं है, therefore you need not put any more efforts to gain. अपकर्षता नहीं है, therefore we need not put any effort to protect it. In all other cases of our life, something greater than that is there. Therefore, we need to put efforts to gain more. And also, there's a chance for it to reduce abhagarsha. Always there is a tension struggle to protect. ये tension नहीं है. That's what the meaning of utkarsha abhagarsha rahita. So too, that Brahma Ananda, which is Advaitam. Advaita, the two meanings are what? It is not Vishaya, Vishayi, Sambandhi Ananda. See, again, Vishaya Vishayi Sambandhi Ananda पर problem क्या है? Vishaya Vishayi have to be fulfilling so many conditions. Then only the Ananda is there. Otherwise, विषय दूर है, विषय रिक्वायर्ड क्वांटिटी में नहीं है, क्वालिटी में नहीं है, और विषयी is not in a good mood. But the Vishayi enjoys the Vishaya through the Upadhi. If the Upadhis are not supporting, how many conditions are there in the Vishaya Vishaya Ananda? Is it not? Therefore, the Advaita means Vishaya Vishayi Sambandha Rahita pure Ananda. That's what I explained there as. Therefore, it is not Ananda of something. It is not the Brahman is there and his quality is Ananda. It is said that Brahman himself is Ananda. Like the rose is there, it has a color. Rose is there, it has a smell. Rose is there, it has a tenderness. So the color gets faded away, the smell gets faded away, the tenderness goes away of the rose. They are lakshanas. But Brahma Ananda is not like this. Brahman eva Ananda. That is the meaning of Advaita, one meaning. Another meaning is what? In him, the Karya Karana, the Ishvara Jiva, the Samashti Veshti, Bheda are not there. That way, the one who discovers that Brahman in his experience. That is the meaning of evam with the second meaning. So, saha yaha kaschit evam yathoktam Brahma veti. How he knows the Brahman? One, utsruja utkarsha apakarsham. Second, advaitam. Third one, our main first definition, first explanation, first lakshana vakya of the Brahman. After the Sutra Vakya was told. Sutra Vakya was Brahmavida apnoti param. And what is that? Which Brahman? Knower of whom becomes the achiever of the supreme. Brahma, Brahmavid, Brahmavid apnoti param. The Brahmaveta सबसे परम उत्कृष्ट को पाएगा. That's the meaning. Which Brahman you didn't tell? है ना? Tell ना. ब्रह्म कौन होता है? क्या होता है? That is how the quotation from Rigveda was quoted. कि सत्यम ज्ञानम अनंतम ब्रह्मा विद आपनोति परम. ऐसा हमको सेंटेंस कंप्लीट करना है. सो सत्यम ज्ञान अनंतम जिस ब्रह्म का स्वरूप लक्षण है, उस ब्रह्म का वेत्ता नोवर आपनोति अटेन्स परम द सुप्रीम, having attained which nothing more is achieved. So satyam jnanam anantam, and that is what? That satyam jnanam anantam brahma aham asmi. Most important thing is this one. It is not in the Shastras. There is a proof of existence of a Brahman, which is Satyam Jnanam Ananta Lakshana Yukta, which is Advaita, in which Jiva Ishvara Veda is not there, Kara Karana Veda is not there, Veshti Samashti is Veda not. No, this will never give us liberation. Not this intellectual operational alone. Then that Brahman I am not this Jiva. That Brahman I am Asmi. Iti saya evam with. And how can be ascertained unless we enter deeper onto the seat of meditation and go deep into our own panchakoshas one by one and enter into the gufa and discover him and look back and see, then he alone is everywhere there. So, in the entry of the gufa, we get ourselves identified with that self. When we look back, that self alone is seen everywhere. Therefore, who is this Brahman who is talked as Satyam Jnanavanandam, talked as Utkarsha Apakarsha Rahita, talked as Advaita? Asmi. It is me. Upanishad is not happy by giving us only intellectual knowledge. अबे ब्रह्म है तो हमको क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? We are continuous jiva only suffering. Therefore, that is discovered as Asmi. Asmi is the important. Iti evam veti, iti evam vita. So, in this way, the one who knows, who is that is called as Saya evam vit. So, that person, whoever he may be, who knows this Brahman to be himself, which is Satyam Jnanamanantam, which is Advaitam, which is Utkarsha, Apakarsha, Ananda Rahitatva. Both. In its quality or quantity or happiness, it has no Utkarshata, that there is chance to improve. There is no apakarshata, that it gets reduced. That Brahman I am. अब देखो, these are such a powerful shlokas, we only superficially, depending on the word meaning, we are discussing. We are not going to deeper, intricate implications of these things. Any of the word, like when I discover I am that Advaitam Brahma, how can there be any fear in the world? How deeply we have to percolate into ourselves and discover that Advaita Brahma. We are at the very, very surface level, living in the Dvaita Jagat only. तो कितना टाइम कितना डीप होना जाएगा जाना पड़ेगा हमको दैट अद्वैत ब्रह्म को डिस्कवर करने में वंस इट इज डिस्कवर्ड एकमेव अद्वैत वेयर देयर कैन बी एनी फियर so too, discovering myself to be the Satyam, therefore imperishable, Jnanam, therefore non-cheatable, Anantam, therefore no limited and no miserable. How great are these consequences if these are deeply experienced? So these sentences, these words are not just superficial words, especially when the Asmi is added. I am that, and I am that bliss which has no Utkarsha, which has no Apakarsha. Homogeneous mass of bliss Brahmanayam. Homogeneous Ekamevadvyam Brahmanayam. Homogeneous Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Ayam. The one who experiences that Brahman like this, because the purpose of the Upanishadic study is for this purpose only. Then only the guarantee given by the Upanishad that we are given moksha will happen. As a jiva, we can never have moksha. Having all Siddhanta Jnana, but still living life with the Upadita darkness jiva, never made anybody liberated. Therefore, Upadiyukta jiva, I am not. I am that Brahman who is Utkarsha Pakarsha Rahita, that Brahman which is Advaita, that Brahman which is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Iti evam vetti. Ya evam vetti. Okay. Evam shabdasya prakruta paramarashartattvatu. Evam means in this way. Prakruti shabda paramarashartatvat means what? In this way and in this way alone. Who knows the Brahman? Brahman is Satyam Jnanamanantam, Brahman is Advaitam, Brahman is Utkarsha Apakarsha Rahitam. This is one side. Other side is that Brahman which is satisfying all these qualifications is me. Clear? If this really happens, Kim, so what? What is the Phalashruti? What is the outcome of it? In what you observe the achievement of this? What is the litmus test? What is the consequence? How that Brahmagnani expresses, behaves like? So all these questions you can put for them. The answer is this. Saya evam with we have explained now. Now such a one who knows the Brahman to be like this. What is said in the main mantra? Asmat lokat pretya. First sentence. Then the second one is same thing said in 5 koshas. What is that? Etam annamayam atmana upasankramati. Then pranamayam upasankramati. Manomayam upasankramati. In that one annamayam upasankramati is understood. All the other 4 are understood because they are all similar. But before that, this first thing is the Phalashruti. The first thing is the outcome. What is that? Saya evam vita asmat lokat pretya. Clear? This is what is to be very, very clearly understood. Let us see what Bhashyakara explains to us. The meaning of asmat lokat pretya. The literal meaning is what? Asmat means this. Lokat means world. Pretya means having gone. So he goes from this world. Immediately we come to the conclusion that means the moment he knows Brahman, he will die. No, that loka means the field, the realm, the experiences in which we are now caught up. Like when I misunderstand someone, I'm in my own loka of misunderstanding, taking is a right understanding. But when deeply inquired by me, or when that person approaches and tells me, then I come out of this loka of my own of imagination of misunderstanding and come to the real loka of the correct understanding. Then all problems get sorted. Loka, I am trying to explain that word. In the same way, in this world realm of relativity, where as a jiva through upadhi of this world, we are trying to possess something or the other through that wanting to echo out the happiness. This is called as asmad loka. Pretya means having gone from that. Wonderful this explanation is, wonderful this feeling is. Bhashyakara says, ki asmad lokat pretya. So, from this loka having gone, what is this loka? Ki drushta, adrushta, ishta, vishaya, samudaya hi ayam lokaha. देखो, drushta vishayas of this world, adrushta vishayas are of the other world which are not seen by the eyes but heard by the ears, either spoken by someone or even heard from the shastras. Adrushta loka means other than bhuloka, which we don't see. But in Shastras it is said, these punyas, these upasanas, these yajnas should do to those higher lokas where Sukha Bhoga Ananda is more than this, you go to. They are all called Adrushta loka. So earlier in our the Ananda Meemamsa, they Sa Eko Manusha Anandaha, that's only Drushta loka. Because we know that Manushya loka. Thereafter Manushya Gandharva, Deva Gandharva, then Pitrunam Charaloka Loka, Ajana Jana Deva, Karma Deva, then Deva, Indra, Bruhaspati, Prajapati, Brahma Deva. They are all not seen by us by being here in this Manushya Loka as a human with the body identity. Therefore, they are all called Adrushta Loka. Okay. So Drushta, Adrushta, third point is very important. He Ishta Vishayaha, Ishta Vishaya Samudaya, Yam Loka. The Samudaya, the assemblage of the things which we like, which are seen by us Drushta, not seen by us but heard, called Adrushta. All that is called as Lokaha. Is it not? Drushta, Adrushta, Ishta Vishaya Samudaya Lokaha. The meaning of the Loka is this. So Asmat Lokat Pretya. And already the limitation of all these are understood. The Drushta Vishayas are anyway Drushya, they are Jada, they can't give permanent happiness. Adrushta, you have to do lot of Punya, but that is also Kshine Punya, Marti Lokam Vishanti. So Drushta, Drushta, Ishta Vishayatu. Drushta, Drushta, Ishta Vishaya Samudaya, hi ayam lokaha. Okay. Tasmad lokat pretya. So having gone away from that world means what? Tasmad lokat pretya means pratyavritya. Having withdrawn from that loka means what? Nirapeksha bhutva. Having become nirapeksha, independent, totally from this world. So the one who knows Brahman, he becomes free from, independent from, liberated from loka, this loka. The loka is drushta, adrushta, ishta, vishaya, samudaya, bhuta loka. Because all our lives are only this. We see something and about that the desire is created. We struggle to get it. It comes, but again it goes away, again back to square one. So to the Sutta Vishayas, we hear about something, to gain that also we put some effort and we go there, again that also end full, again we are back to square one. All the time we are only in this limited world of seeing, hearing and getting the desires and going and getting that food by putting effort, and again that ends, again we are back to zero level of our happiness. कितने बार हमको ये अनुभव आता है, हजारों बार. Every day we see that. Something seen, something heard about that there is desire, imagining that it gives happiness. You put effort, it comes. Then the desire, the happiness is given for some time. Again, it goes on reducing, reducing. It becomes zero. And if it continues to stay more, it only becomes the cause of misery. सबसे बड़ा विचित्र यही है. जिस बच्चों को आप प्यार करके अमेरिका से बुलाते हो, सेम when they stay more than what you expect, they only become cause of dukha. Nobody can tolerate anyone beyond a particular time. Please remember, because it is inherent in the Dvaita that the Sukha cannot be permanent. How much ever love you have for a person, a day will come where you say enough of it. It is inevitable, that's it. In Ekamevadhyam, Brahma alone can be the continuous, never diminishing, never Utkarsha Pakarsha bliss or Ananda. Take it for granted. Realize it whenever you can, intellect gets mature. But this is a fact. So therefore, Saya Evam Vit is explained. The one who knows the Brahman, who is Advaita, who is Satyam Jnanam Anantam, who is free from the Utkarsha Apakarsha Ananda as himself. Asmi iti. Saya evam mito. Asmad lokat means from this loka having gone. What is the meaning of from this loka? That loka which is drushta, adrushta, ishta samudaya lokaha. Pretya means what? Pratyavritya means what? Withdrawing his attention from that. Withdrawing the value given to it. Withdrawing the reality given to it. That's the meaning of pretya. Having come out of the clutches of that, having come out of the reality given to them, having come out of the delusory attachment so far established with them, having come out of unnecessary efforts, imagining they are permanent, they give permanent happiness. That is the meaning of pretya. प्रेत्य एक ही दो अक्षर का शब्द है, बट इन दिस ऑल दिस वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड. So saya evam vito asmat lokat pretya means being freed from the familiar world of duality. Familiar world of the seeing the other thing and first desiring, then running for it, then having found it to be pithless and meaningless, then again running away from the same thing towards which we run. दुनिया में ना मजेदार बात ये है, जिसके प्रति हम भागते हैं पहले, उसी से हम भाग जाते हैं बाद में. I tell you one very subtle secret. I run towards someone, the other also runs towards me. When both of us are running together towards each other, we come together and stay. And as long as that prarabdha is there, it goes on. Once that is over, either the other person runs away or I run away. Second point, when the other runs away, my time of running away has not come, therefore I feel miserable. You understand? Because my time of running has not come. Before my time of running came, his time of running came. Therefore he ran. Then I became miserable. The point is what? If that person doesn't run away, if he doesn't, his time has not come to run away, then my time will come to run. Then I will go. Then he becomes miserable. कोई ना कोई भागना तो पड़ेगा. Because in Dvaita, you cannot have eternal permanent happiness. That's the rule. That's it. तो अस्मात् familiar lokat drushta adrushta lokat pretya. So drushta, all this adrushta. What is the meaning of drushta adrushta? Whether this world or the other world, wherever the happiness depends on dvaita, happiness depends on effort too, and happiness depends on some contact with the faculty. So therefore, the happiness is subjected to conditions, and which is controlled by the time, and which takes away the time, taken away in the time. That's the meaning of dushta, adrushta, ishta, loka. Very sublime. You have to go into detail to catch it. बहुत इष्टता से आप आ जाते हो. अब कब तक रहोगे? When you see the chow of the children mainly, you can see them. So excited they are. We go to the park, we go here and there. After 2 hours, mummy, I'm getting bored. बोलते हो. Oh, you want somewhere else, somewhere else. So, कस्मात् लोकात् प्रेत्या दुष्ट अदृष्ट इष्ट विषय समुदायो अयं लोकः तस्मात् लोकात् प्रेत्या प्रत्यावृत्या निरपेक्षः भूत्वा. Underline this one, निरपेक्षः भूत्वा. Nirapeksha means there are no kinchit also apeksha for happiness from that drushta or adrushta loka. Because the ananda through drushta and adrushta was coming from Brahman, he has discovered that Brahmananda as his own self. Then why will he have apeksha towards them? Nirapeksha ho jayega. That's why with vairagya, keeping the world away for time being, we discover the Brahman. When we discover the Brahman, the bliss is so infinite And from that only in the Paroksha Rupena we are getting Ananda from all the Dushta Adrushta Vastus. Therefore, when the whole Khajana has become yours, when the wholesale thing is yours, why do you go for retail? It will become Nirapeksha only. So their Pratyam is not having dead and gone. Pratyam is Pratyavritya. Pratyavritya is Nirapeksha Bhutva. Nirapeksha Bhutva. Just imagine. Nirapeksha means there's no apeksha on drushta and adrushta or ishta samudaya loka. Because all of that, why I was desiring? I was desiring for the Ananda. All that Ananda coming through them from what? From the Brahman. So that Brahman I have discovered. Saya evam mitu. So saya evam mit हो गया मैं. तो therefore इस लोक से मुझे क्या लेना देना? प्रेत्या. Asmad lokat pretya means he is no more interested in putting efforts to gain Sukara Ananda from this Drushta and Adrushta and Ishta Loka Samudaya. Because the Ananda to all of them is coming from Brahman, I have already that. Therefore, what is studied so far about the Brahma Tattva in the Hridaya Kosha, that has to be discovered by us as our own self. How to discover will be the whole next, we have the third Valli. Bhrugu Valli talks about that only. And we were already discussing exhaustively by transcending the Panchakoshas through the Hridaya Guha. We have to discover him first as Drashta, Sruta, Manta, Vijnata, then Chidabhasa, then Chitta, then as the Sadvastu. 100 times we discussed it. Asmad Lokat Pretya Pratyavritya means Nirapeksha Bhutva. What will happen to him? Bhutva. Now the next topic is very, very important. Etam yatha vyakyatam annamayam atmanam upasankramati. See the seeming superficial if you don't understand the contradiction. Etam annamayam atmanam upasankramati. Having discovered himself from as Brahman, having withdrawn from this familiar world of Drushta, Adrushta Vishaya and Ishta Vishaya, Annamaya Atmanam Upasankramati. He will come to identify with Annamaya Atma only. अरे जिस अन्नमय आत्मा से आपने वित्ड्रॉ करवाया फिर उसे उसी से तादात्म्य करा रहे हो, यही तो मजा है इधर. Here he says here कि we attentive, very clear, very interesting it is. Annamayam Atmanam Upasamkramati means what? He crossed the limitations of Annamaya Kosha. That is one thing. And what is the meaning of crossing the limitation of the Annamaya Kosha? Is putting this Annamaya Kosha into the total Annamaya Kosha and having no difference between Vyashti and Samashti Annamaya Kosha. Therefore, if he has to caters to the Samashti Annamaya. If not, he will not cater to anything, but he will not be biased to give value to one Annamaya Kosha at the cost of other or at the cost of total. That inner experience, beautiful, is called as Annamaya Kosha Upasankramanam. So what is therefore Vedanta philosophy is what? First discover the Brahman. Then what about the Upadhi and Upadhikta expression? Nothing but transcending the Vyashti identity and uniting with the Samashti. Either have Samashti or don't have Vyashti. Because the problem is not that body is there. The problem is that I have only this body. That is a problem. Otherwise, the whole world is the expression of Narayana only. When Narayana's expression it is, how can there be problem? It cannot be. But don't we see the sufferings? Yeah. Where is the suffering happening? In me. Who am I? Identify this one particular upadhi. Therefore, in Nidra, there is no upadhi tadatmya, one particular. Therefore, there is Ananda. So too in the Brahma Swarupa Ananda, there is Ananda of the Brahman exclusive. Same time, at the time of expression, he identifies with the total Annamaya. Try to catch this point. Total Annamaya is one unit. Therefore, I am not identified only this one. Like I told you the other example of our own body. How many parts are there in my body? So many. Am I identifying extra with any one particular part? Impossible. Because in every part of the body is me only. There is no partiality. There is no any type of differentiation. Is it not? In the same way, whole world has expressing, the Lord is expressing through the world as so many upadhis for different actions and functions and lila. That never means that you get identified with one particular over too much and and differentiate with the other ones. Wherever that happens, that's the cause of misery. And actually, dekha jaye, is there any Vyashti Upadhi? Let us say here the Annamaya Kosha, because Annamaya we are talking. Can this Annamaya be any time separate from independent of the Samashti? Can any time the wave be separate from the ocean? Is not the ocean alone is expressing as the wave? Think about it. Is not the wave born and dying just because of its thought that it thinks that it is separate from the total ocean and the other waves? This thinking that is other than other waves, thinking that is other than the ocean, is it not the stupidity and ignorance of that small wave? In the same way, at any given time, my this Pancha Koshas or the Annamaya Deha can never exist, can never be apart from the total. Therefore, why are we separating? Why are we differentiating? With ignorance only. That's the cause of dukkha. Remember, in the Sameshti or Ananta, the Vyashti are only imagined and projected, they are not real. But we give the reality and separate it in totality, then suffer. So the meaning of etam annamayam atmanam upasankramati means what? Ki annamayam atmanam upasankramati means vishaya jatam annamayat pindatmanah vyatariktam na pashyati. This is the most important. Vishaya jatam annamayat pindatmanah vyatariktam na pashyati. Means what? The Vishayata means the things that are there outside which are supporting the sustenance of my body. That Vishayajatam Annamaya from the Stula Sharira, which is Pindatma, with which so far I was identified in the ignorance. So Vetariktam na pashyati. So therefore the Vishayajatam is the whole universe. Pindatma is Deha. They are not taken as separate. What is the meaning of taking separate? This Annamaya Kosha is Ayama, other things are not at all. Therefore, either the entire Vishayajatam means the total samashti, he considers as his own self, or this Pindatma, he de-identifies with that, he puts this also in the Anatma category. तो सबको आत्मा मानो या इस एक देह को भी अनात्मा मानो. This is a way of realization. But at one level of upadhi, this is I am, not others. Others are not me. This is called as samsara. All that will go away. Saya evam vita. So how to test whether I have recognized Brahman or not? When I come back from that experience into Utthana Sthiti, I no more function only through one upadhi. I discover myself to be the one who is functioning through the entire upadhi. The one who functions through one upadhi by identifying with it is called as jiva. That's what we are suffering so far, which is only illusory, delusory, only under influence of ignorance only, not reality. So, annamayat pindatmana vetarikta na pashyati. Can you put it more in easier way, so understandable? Answer is sarvam sthula bhutam annamayam atmanam pashyati iti artha. Therefore, the entire sthula jagat considers himself as his own. Sarvam sthula bhutam annamayam atmanam pashyati. So the here the sarvam sthula bhutam is the entire Virat Jagat. He is his own Annamaya Kosha. So his own self he looks at as. There was a separation that this body alone I am, not the other bodies are the total Virat. The entire Virat is me. Now what will be the experience of that person? As much I love this body, I love every body. As much I care this, every I care. As much I cater to this, I cater to everyone. How much I make safe and secure and don't cause harm to this, I don't cause harm to any of the dehas or the samashti virat rupa. That expression is called as the expression of the realizing Brahman when he comes to express. That's the meaning of etam annamayam atmanam upasankramati. So one Virat Deha I am expressing through. In this Virat, So many individual devas are expressed for variety of projects or works. That doesn't mean they are neither, they are separate from the totality and they are other than me. Therefore, the entire Virat Rupa is me, or not even the Annamaya, this is also me. In both cases, we are liberated. In the case of identifying only with this Annamaya, discarding others as not me, then all the competitions, comparisons, jealousies, as a natural outcomes, out products, so byproducts, they come, they are the cause of all samsara. So, first thing is answered. In this way, Kim Sarvam Sthula Bhutam Annamayam Atmanam Pashyati Tyartaha. So, as much he loves his Deha, he loves the totality. He loves everyone, respects, values, identifies with, cares, caters, protects, is having concern. Jitna mujhe sab. So, they are the people who, therefore, when somebody is in heat or cold suffering, so the required clothing etc they give, because in and through all upadhis it is me only one functioning. So they have risen to that level, they have transcended the one jiva, one deha upadhi expressing jiva bhava. This is a reaching of the brahmagnani. This is the result of the brahmanubhuti. Now imagine if that level we reach to, the positive thing is this. Ki what? Ki any Annamaya, anywhere is happy, I am happy because it is me. And anywhere, any Annamaya miserable, I am not miserable because I am there in the entire world. At one corner of me, if one problem small is there, it doesn't create any dent in me. बिकॉज मैं तो इतना इन्फानाइट विराट रूम हूँ, एक देह को एक जगह कुछ हुआ तो मेरे को कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता, बिकॉज आई एम सो मच. The positive is what? Anywhere, anybody happy at the Annamaya level, it is Maya Ananda because I am only there. So too, when it comes to the feelings, the respect and love for any Annamaya. When it comes to the action, as much I do to my Annamaya Kosha, so much I do to all. That is called as everywhere in entire Shastras. Whether you take Upanishads, Gita, sab jagah pe, what is one common thing spoken as the final stage of realization of Brahman or Atman is that Sarva Atmya Bhava. Don't we see that Samadrushti and Sarvatma Drushti? Atmaupamena sarvatra samam pashyati orjuna sukham va yadi va dukkham sayogi paramo mataha. यस्मिन् सर्वाणि भूतानि आत्मन्येवानुपश्यति पश्यति सर्वभूतेषु च आत्मानं ततो न विजुगुप्सते सर्वभूतस्थमात्मानं सर्वभूतानि च आत्मनि ईक्षते योगयुक्तात्मा सर्वत्र समदर्शनः. Everywhere as a Falashruti is this only. So the problem is identifying with the isolated individual upadhis and rejecting other upadhis. Therefore, we suffer. Now, at home, the mother, she has got 4 children. They are different bodies, but still, she doesn't suffer the presence of those because she identifies with all of them as my own. But the fifth neighbor child comes. Immediately, she becomes self-secured. Then she gives eatables only to her children, not to that child. And that gives dukkha to her also. One is dukkha because of that trying to protect. Second, there will be a regret or guilt for the jiva inside. Because jiva always wants to unite with the world. She never understands that when you give to other children, then only your children get. You understand? All children are children. Children's hunger is same. And you give to your children, they are eating. The other children are looking at, they are not given. What a saddest mind it is. How can it be? Actually, you have to give to the other children first. That heart can we express? At one small chocolate giving level, if we cannot expand, do you think we can do the higher and greater things for the world? Then we can never that way expanded, then get cocooned in one upadhi and suffer. The possibility of becoming identified with the universal Virat Purusha and becoming universally happy is reduced By identifying with one upadhi, naturally you will be miserable only. Is it not? The one who is living in a palatial house, अब उसको एक छोटा स्लम एरिया में झोपड़पट्टी में या पानी टपक रहा है ऊपर से बिजली नहीं है 4/8 या 4/6 इस कमरे में बंद करो will you be happy? The one who is living in palatial house and all can't. Is it not? जो बड़ा बड़ा करोड़ों कारों में घूमता है उसको बोल थोड़ा स्कूटर चला या साइकिल पे चलो. Yeah, American president will do to fall it. That is different. नीचे गिरने के लिए वो नाटक है. But really you can't. So too, I basically am Virat, Purusha. The whole universe is my own body, but not wanting to know, not knowing, not identifying with that. One mistake. Second, just identify with one wretched body, one wretched sharira, and trying to get happiness through that and only that. Therefore, more than happiness, only misery, misery, misery. But the Brahmajnani is not so. Etam annamayam atmanavasankramati means he transcends the limitations of identification with one annamaya kosha and identifies with the total Virat Purusha. Wonderful. His inner being is of that highest level. It's total Virat Purusha. So annamayat pindatmanah vetiriktam na pashyati. Point 1. Then sarvam sthula bhutam annamayam atmanam pashyati tyartaha. Entire universe is Annamayam Atmanam Pashyati means what? Both ways. The entire world and my Deha, they are not different. Either if I have identity with the entire world, I'll have. If not, not even with this one Stula Deha. इसका भी तादाद में छोड़ के अम्रमास में रह जाओ या सबसे तादाद में करके enjoy being one with the entire universal Virat Sharira. Is it not? Now, while listening itself, you can imagine both the things. How blissful it looks like, also how tough it is. Because from so many lives, in the ignorance, we were identified and living only at one stula annamaya deha as I am. That mistake is being done for a long time. है ना? When the doctor counsels that drinks addict, smoking addict, then he imagines, yeah, really, if I don't do that, how much money is saved and how much health is gained, how much the people around me appreciate. Positive. But again, the negative thing कि पता नहीं कितने जन्मों से सालों से मैं पी के इसका ऐसा आदत बन गया मेरा. In the same way, one side we want that you can imagine the joy when the whole universal deha we identify with. Same time, how tough and difficult for him to give up the smoking and drink. So too, how tough we imagine and feel to come out of one deha tadatmya because that's what going on from many, many lives. That is why the first spiritual sadhana is to share the things with others, using which we get identified more and more with only this Deha. From there only the Adhyatmic sadhana starts. And once the Brahman is reached, the experience of Brahman is tested again only in this. Have you risen above your or any individual Deha Adhyatmya and identifying the total without any biasness of any special raga or special dvesha to any Deha? We do it. In professions, it's done like the doctor. He has no identity with any Deha. Anybody comes, he will treat all of them. But that's professional. This is spiritual knowledge. So, sarvam sthula bhutam annamayam atmanam pashyati ityartaha. The entire sthula bhuta is one annamaya, and that one annamaya is atmanam aya. And the pure Brahman is a substratum and expressing through the samasti annamaya only, not from only one annamaya. ऐसा है क्या? भगवान सिर्फ मेरे अंदर ही है क्या? आपके अंदर नहीं है, उसके अंदर नहीं है, सब में है वो. तो उस ब्रह्म से तादात्म्य करने के बाद every annamaya is one, me only, the total sthula sharira is me. It's a great, great achievement. That's a freedom there. As long as we don't discover the fact that identifying with one set of upadhi is the cause of entire samsara bandhanam. So long we will not come out of the clutches of it, nor we can avoid our dukkha. So this is how he becomes identified with the Samashti Virat Rupa. Clear? Now, once one is sorted out, all other are the same things. When he is no more identified with one Annamaya, the whole universal Annamaya, Virat Purusha, he has become one with. Now, this within this one Annamaya is this one Pranamaya Kosha. अब ये एक प्राण अन्नमय ही मैं ही नहीं हूँ, आई एम द समष्टि अन्नमय. What happens at the prana level then? Is it not obvious? That is the meaning of second one. ततः अभ्यंतरम एवं एतम प्राणमयम सर्व अन्नमय आत्मस्थम अविभक्तम. Is it not? Because of I identified with this Annamaya, therefore, Jabardastili, for my sake, the Samashti Pranamaya was divided as if my own Pranamaya. Now I have dissociated with my only identity with this Annamaya. Now I have identified with the Samashti Viratu. Then what happens to Prana therefore? Therefore, I am no more identified with one Pranamaya, here expressing in this Sharira, total universal Pranamaya I identify with. That is the meaning of Etam Pranamayam Atmanam Upasamkramati. The total universal Pranamaya Kosha, he becomes one with. Now, what is the expression of that universal Pranamaya Kosha? Say, Ek Hona. What are the Lakshanas of Pranamaya Kosha? The two, hunger and thirst. Therefore, anybody's hunger is my hunger. Anybody's thirst is my thirst. Whether they are Indian or American or terrorist or the man or woman or mitra or shatru. Nay, that Pranamaya Kosha, even if it is that of a animal, any bird, any plant. Because Pranamaya Kosha is common in the universe like the Annamaya. And the pangs of hunger are same everywhere. The one who identifies the universal Pranamaya, he can never be identified with one individual sector. Wherever there is hunger, he just runs and rushes there to feed them. It's both ways. The one who discovers Brahman, he will identify with the Samashti Pranamaya, therefore he feeds everyone. Or from this side, if you start, instead of catering only to your Pranamaya, when you take care of all the Pranamayas in the world, then you are coming out of one Pranamaya and you are growing to the total Pranamaya. It will become easier for you by God's grace to discover the identity with that one Brahman, which is expressing as Samashti Pranamaya, expressing through Samashti Pranamaya. Therefore, learn this art. Not we are not only this, we can be every. And with one pranamaya, if we can be happy like this, with all pranamaya, how much happy we can. Therefore, break those shackles that only this body I have, therefore give only to this the security. Break the shackle that only this pranamaya is me, only this when it is scattered with food and that, I'll be happy. Start slowly expanding. That is why the Annadanam, all of them are taught to us in our Shastras. To rise above in our identity with one Vyashti and become one with Samashti. In Samashti, there will never be problems. So problems are there only in the Vyashti. Therefore, anybody hungry, anybody, whoever they may be, irrespective, first feed them, that's it. बात की बात बाद में देखेंगे. Because that when Bhagavan himself is feeding anyone, how can we hesitate? That is why in our Hinduism we are told to give milk even to the snake, even though it is poisonous cobra. We are told to put all the grains and rice outside for all the panchi. We are told to put the waters there. Every day, 5 morsels of food taken and put there. For the 5, the devatas, the rishis, the pitru devatas, the other human beings, and also all other beings. भूत कहते हैं उनको. So Bhutaruna, Manusharuna, Pitruna, Devaruna, Rishiruna. 5 morsel. Any number of time you eat food, unko. Because your attitude of that nobody should suffer with hunger will satiate their hunger. From somewhere the Narayana Paramatma, with our this attitude that nobody should suffer hunger, will provide the food to them. It's a beautiful state of being. This is true philosophy. This is true spirituality. This is true growth. Not that I sit and I do my own realization and I become realized and I am no more bound. I do my japa, I do my upasana. ये शुरू में मजा आता है, अच्छा लगता है, but that's not real growth. Real growth is coming out of individuality and identifying with the totality. Then only that freeness in the heart, that joy bubbling, the experience of that real ananda bliss comes. Not with one particular useless. And देखो ये तो हम वेदांत बात कर रहे हैं. Otherwise in samsara, for the sake of one this set of things, all the totality and other individuals, how much they are troubled by this selfish fellow, identify this one set of upadhi. Such a what a lowest level of animals he is there. तो उनको पता ही नहीं कि ऐसा ज्ञान होता है, ऐसा जीना होता है. They are animals only. Those who say Mayyaru Mora Torate Maya. As long as the world is filled with this type of egos of identification, one upadhi, and at the cost of the total they want to gain, the whole world will always be in chaos. Whereas when whole beings understand that is only one Paramatma expressing through the Samashti and live at the Samashti level, there are no problems. You know? And it's not new at all. People live it. Is it not? They live the Samashti level, but that also in a particular set. Like all the Parsi, they have their own Samashti. They love each other, they get married. All Jain, they have their Samashti. All Buddhist, their Samashti. They're all Samashti में जीते वो लोग. They take care. All Islamists, wherever they are in the world. All the Christians. All the Hindus try, but they have million differences. They can't. And all the Sikh Sardarji, किसी भी जगह जाओ they are one. So they are identifying not with one with samashti, but that is one particular again clan or any sect or religion. Up to that level they have sorted out problem, but still they have the vesti again against the other vesti that gives them dukkha. Therefore the real knowledge is this one, transcending one individuality, identifying the total at all levels. So at the human level, I am this particular religion caste and that is different. From that we have to rise above and come to one universal human. And from there, I am only human, not animal plant. From that I have to rise and I come to one universal thing called life is one. From that also I have to transcend and say, he not only I am the living expression through, but anything jadadi in this world that also is containing the same pure existence. Is it not? So human differences say all are one human. Human animal differences say all are one living being. Living, non-living difference say all are expression of one pure existence. This is what Vedanta. This is spirituality. Takes toll. It's not easy thing. You have to go through rigorous study, contemplation. But the reward also so spectacular, so beautiful. Just like with the Upadhi Tadatmya, for any and every and no reason we are miserable. When we identify the totality, there's no reason which can make us miserable, there's no reason which can take away our happiness. Because in total, in the happiness, misery, they're all nullified. The loss and gain are neutralized. That is the bliss. Is it not? In the universe, in the entire infinite ocean, how much of the amount of water taken by Lord Surya and how many gallons of water the rivers are pouring, it doesn't make a difference to the ocean. It is infinite. So to the one who identifies the totality, in him, within it, the losses and gains have no minor rakta in him. Therefore, those things neither make him jump with happiness, ecstasy, nor make him fall with miserable. He's in a different bliss and beatitude, the one who identifies with total. So from now onwards, understand the only problem to the universe and to us is our isolated individuality. Second, therefore, the whole sadhana from now on is rising of the vyashti and living for the samashti. Start at the thought level and start doing at the grass level little by little and see the bliss. मजा आएगा। हमको लगता है कि एक इंडिविजुअलिटी से तादात्म्य करने से सुख मिलता है, या सुख इज 1%, बट 99% इज मिजरी. It's a common sense also in a society of 40 families. When one family is very selfish, what the 39 do? Don't they do just keep them away? ये बंदा बहुत selfish है, किसी से बात नहीं करता, कुछ नहीं देता लेता नहीं. So he will not be invited to any program. Now remember, if he is mingling and uniting the whole, all the 40 people love him, value him, and invite him. That's the difference between Vyashti Tadatmya and Samashti Ekata. Never ever promote isolated individuality at the cost of other individuals or total, which is wrong, which is based only on ignorance, which consequently gives only dukkha. That's why India samasta sukhino bhavantu. We don't pray like that. Lokaha samasta sukhino bhavantu. Hindu janaha sukhino bhavantu. We don't say sarve janaha sukhino bhavantu. Not only that, whole animal, plant, every one of them should exist. Every one of them should evolve. Every one of them should evolve to the bliss level. The difference between the stone kingdom, plants, animal kingdom, human kingdom, and the divine kingdom are these four. In the stone kingdom, only existence is expressing. In the plants and animal kingdom, existence and consciousness is expressing. In the human being, existence, consciousness is fully expressing, and seeking the ananda is expressing. That is why the human being is anandi when he gets a good food. Animals don't. उनको मिल गया तो पेट भरने का उसको, not the other ananda. And in the devatas, the ananda is fully expressing existence, consciousness, and bliss. Where fully expresses, that's called divinity. That's why every human being is searching the ananda only, which is fulfilled when he becomes divine. And the divinity is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So, in this way, the pranamaya. So, to mano vijnana ananda, that no more is isolated with any individual upadhi. He understands now his mind, the other mind, total mind is same. Therefore, the emotions are same, good or bad. Therefore, respect everybody's good emotions, devalue your own bad emotions. In that way, the man ke star par manomayam atmano vasakrapati. So, to vijnanamaya atmana, he'll never become jealous when somebody is intelligent, somebody is knowing something, doing something. No, it is me only through that upadhi. So to Anandamaya Atmano Sankramata means he finds his bliss in giving bliss to all. Annamaya is security. Pranamaya is the food. Manamaya is the love. Vijnanamaya is oneness. Anandamaya is Anand. When he caters to the universal thing in his thought, word, and deed, he is no more persecuted by his own individuality. He is called Maha Atma. All we who work only for one Upadhi set, we are all Alpatma. Alpatma can never be happy with all efforts. Mahatma can never be miserable when something is there or not. Some more beautiful thoughts we will discuss tomorrow. Om, 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 Om. Just close eyes for 10 or a minute. So just imagine, feel that no Annamaya Kosha in the world suffer the pains, suffer diseases, suffer any type of harm. No Pranamaya Kosha in the world should suffer the pangs of hunger and thirst. No Manomaya Kosha have the suffering of frustrations, dejections, disappointment, sorrows. No Vijnanamaya Kosha in the world should lack the correct understanding, and no Anandamaya Kosha miss the Ananda in the world. In whichever the individually seeming Upadhi it is expressing. May the Lord bless everyone. You know, when that Durvasa came with thousands of disciples to Draupadi Pandavas, saying that I want food, we are going to take bath and give. They go, no, Draupadi. She was given the Akshay Patra by Indra. But उसका क्या है? When all are fed, Draupadi also eats. उसके बाद बर्तन धो के रखते हैं. उस दिन के लिए खत्म. Again the food will not come. That day when the Durvasa came, by that time इनका खाना हो गया. Now she cannot invoke the infinite food from that. Then Durvasa is terrible Rakshasa. He will curse only. Then what to do? What to do what? Whenever such problem is there, only solution is Bhagavan Krishna. Krishna was called. He came, then she tells, already we are suffering, these Rishi will curse us only, what to do? Krishna Bhagavan says, Liao Bhartan Akshay Patra. When she brings, then he looks in and around that Bhartan. In that Bhartan, in corner somewhere, there is some shaka is left, sabji ka tukda. So in a hurry, she has not washed that utensil properly. Never don't scold your servants from today onwards. He took that one shaka and he ate. When he ate, within some time, though Durvasa the rishis came, they said, "Thank you, our stomachs are full, we are going." They went away without asking the food. It is not a miracle or any jadoo. Bhagavan Krishna is the universal pranamaya kosha. Therefore, when he took it that one and identified the whole universal pranamaya, every one of their hunger is removed. They are saved, Pandavas. Like these hundreds of occasions, they are there in our yogis and rishi munis charitra and there. You understood? That's the prayer. That's what we give food to our Bhagavan, Naivedyam. That is not complete. Into that, the prayer has to be added with this food taken, O Lord. You being the Vaishwanara in everybody's stomach, please give the food and remove the pangs of hunger and thirst of every jiva. The more intensely, deeply we are able to pray this way, the more the hunger of the jiva is removed, and that punya evolves us from the stula vyasti upadhi tadatmya to the sukshma and also samashti. One day all the transcended ekameva advaya brahma is discovered. These are all things to be practically done. This is true sadhana. Just coming, listening to classes, not even doing mananam chintanam, they were not at all registering every knowledge, remaining as good or bad as anyone who has never attended any class. This is never spirituality. And imagining without doing anything that something will happen. Nothing will happen if something is not done. So the doing is this ones. We have to consciously pray, we have to physically act, we have to mentally feel, we have to intellectually think for the samashti, not the vesti. That's the result of Brahmagnana. If it's the result of Brahmagnana, why wait till that time? Let us start from now only. That is what it is. So, at the physical level, whatever you can do. Whatever is not done in your own mind. Mhm. Pray for universal oneness. Everyone. This is the only way which come out of, with which we come out of our own selfishness, our own identity. This is a criminal act. कि मेरा पेटी भरे मैं ही safe रहूं. From here only the entire strong divisions in being between the beings is coming, because of it there are quarrels or killings, etc. देखो, other than this ekameva dvayam jnanam, universal one outlook, do you think there can be any solace and happiness? No, if our prime minister is welcomed all over the world, today has gone, tomorrow is International Yoga Day, to address in the Parliament US. If our India is, or he is very selfish, कोई बुलाते ही नहीं. That is the universal outlook. All of us are one on this globe. Vasudha kutumbakam. It is not a political sentence to gain votes. No, it is from the heart, out of wisdom. We have to, out of wisdom of one Brahman permeating the whole universe, that we have to look for the universal benefit, universal evolution or growth. Never ever come down to individual level at all. That is true practical spirituality. May God bless all of us with that evolutionary outlook. Thank you. मौपम्येन सर्वत्र समं पश्यति यो